welcome back to another edition of The Morning View.
Sir Jim Ratcliffe has flown in to Carrington via helicopter for planned talks that were already in the schedule, talks that were already locked in ahead of these awful losses that Man United have taken early on in the season. He wants to work through what's going on with the club, with Ruben. There's not plans to sack him. They want to work through it. They want to keep calm. The team's form was on the agenda, obviously, but there wasn't this imminent threat of Ruben Amorim losing his job or anything like that. It's very much calm behind the scenes as Sir Jim and Ineos want to work through these issues with Ruben and get us back to winning ways. They still believe in Ruben Amorim. A lot of people still believe in Ruben Amorim. So I guess we're going to have to just lock in, keep our seatbelts on, buckle up, and see what the next games hold into the international break, the next one. Because I tell you what, if we're on the wrong side of results, it don't matter what planned talks that you had. It don't matter how much you want to work through things. Things will have to change. We have to start getting results. That is the only thing we can agree on in the whole Man United fan base, and that is that we need to start getting results quick. Whether it's planned talks, unplanned talks, in by helicopter, in by car, whether he took a line bike to Carrington, I don't care. We need to win games. And it's as simple as that. Smash a like on the video, people. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Loads to get through this morning. And of course, in the lead up to Man United versus Chelsea tomorrow afternoon at Old Trafford. Under the lights. And obviously press conference day today as well, where we find out if Mateus Cunha is going to be back in. Diogo Dalot, Mason Mount. We want updates on those guys as well. So a lot to get into, Owen.
Yes, a lot to get into indeed. Good morning, folks. Welcome to the Morning View. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe. We've already got close to 400 people through the door. If you haven't already clicked the like button, let's get to 100 likes quickly. Flex, before we get into meetings, before we get into news or what have you, we've got to talk. We've got to talk about final one standing because the race is heating up, Fleck. The race is heating up indeed. If you're still within a shot at glory, don't forget to make your pick ahead of the match week deadline to stay in the game, which I think is 12:30 on Saturday. If you're knocked out, don't worry. There's a new jackpot game that launches every single Premier League game week. This week, you can join a new game to win up to £20,000. I'm still in the one from last week, which is £200,000.
Yeah, I'm still in that too.
Still in that one as well.
Yeah.
And if you're not signed up yet, the rules of the game are simple, as is we've been explaining every week. Pick a team each weekend, win, you're through. But if you lose or draw, you're out. And you can't pick that team again once you've picked them once. And all you have to do is download the William Hill app by scanning the QR code or click the link in the video description. It's pinned in the chat and get the William Hill app. Of course, T's and C's apply. UK and Ireland only. You have to be over 18 and always gamble responsibly. Right, Flex. Last week, I went with Liverpool. And that worked out well
let you down.
for me. I know, ironically enough. So I can't pick them, obviously, because they're playing the Merseyside derby tomorrow.
It's really hard this week. It's really hard this week. I'll be honest, I've gone Arsenal. I have.
Really?
Yeah,
really?
I went Arsenal. I think there's no way they don't beat City.
Decision.
The rest of them, I mean, some people are saying Sunderland at home to Villa. Wolves, Leeds. I mean, it's tight. You don't want to be doing Tottenham, Brighton. Could you argue Palace, edge West Ham 1-0? But horrible game to pick. Burnley, Forest. You can't do that game, can you? Fulham, Brentford. You don't really want to go near. This is a hard week, bro. It's a hard week, Owen. That's why I'm like, what do you do? Oh, no, Liverpool, Everton, you can't do, can you? Oh, you already
I can't. Yeah, you lose Liverpool last week.
Burnley, Forest, you don't want that. Palace,
I'm half thinking Palace, you know.
That's what I mean.
Thinking Palace. Away at West Ham. West Ham are pretty rubbish.
Spurs, Brighton.
I'm gonna go Crystal Palace, Fleck.
You locking in Palace, yeah?
Yeah, I'm locking in Palace. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Locking in Palace.
That's a big, bold choice. That's a bold choice.
Yeah, it's been locked in, Flex. It's been locked in.
Okay.
He's locked in. I've locked in that pick. Yeah, you're right.
It's not. I don't fill you with any confidence. It's hard.
That is a difficult one this weekend, isn't it? Indeed.
I
But
think
yes,
a lot of people will go out.
Yes, and as we mentioned previously, 18 plus, UK and Ireland only. Please gamble responsibly. Terms and conditions apply, and the full terms are in the link below. Flex meetings. Meetings were happening yesterday. Crunch talks, whether they were planned, not planned, what have you. A big article came out. To be fair, shout out Indicalia again. Yeah, this is what's funny with that. A bit too much credibility over the summer, you know. And
What did they call this?
yeah, they did. They put out something like an hour or so before that Laurie Whitwell and Adam Crafton put out their story. They were like, Justin, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, he's at the training ground, blah, blah, blah. And everyone was rinsing them for it. And then, of course, Laurie comes out about an hour or so later and it's like, oh, yeah, Sir Jim Ratcliffe was there today. But, you know, I think Indicalia, that's a summer story. It's best left there.
Yeah, exactly.
But yes, The Athletic, specifically Adam Crafton and Laurie Whitwell, were writing last night that Manchester United co-owner Sir Jim Ratcliffe flew into the club's Carrington training ground in a helicopter on Thursday. I don't know why, the helicopter's necessarily important, but he flew in a helicopter flex on Thursday for a series of meetings, including with the team's head coach, Ruben Amorim. Now, United sources, speaking anonymously, as they are not authorized to speak publicly on the matter.
Never.
Insisted Ratcliffe's visit to Carrington was long planned and included time with Amorim. However, the team's form was on the agenda, and Ratcliffe was seeking to work through issues facing Amorim at the club. This is kind of just a bit of, I guess, backstory to all of this as well. They were in prior interviews, he's spoken about when he's spoken to Ruben Amorim. So speaking in March, amid poor results, Ratcliffe told The Times he believed Amorim was the right man to take United forward. He said, quote, "Yeah, I do. Honestly, I really, really like Ruben. He's a very thoughtful guy. Every time I go to the training ground, I speak to Ruben. I sit down, have a cup of coffee with him and tell him where it's going wrong. And he tells me to fuck off. I like him." So you wonder if the same thing happens.
Is he still telling him to F off?
Yeah.
I think it's going a bit wrong, mate. We still haven't run 2 games back to back. We still haven't won 2 games in months since January. We lost to Grimsby. That wasn't really acceptable against Man City. F off. F off, mate. F off. Really. And actually... I didn't mean that. Sorry.
Yeah,
I just get a bit. Yeah. But yeah, look. What is, I think, clear at this stage, which can all change. We're not silly. These things change by results and continuation of bad results. What's clear now, which is why I'm not on that. Like, when's he going to get sacked? How long? Like, it's not that. He's not going to get sacked now. It's not on the cards. They think he can still work through it. They want him to work through it, and they still believe he can turn it around. Okay, fine. Well, I don't agree with that, but that's what they've chosen. So I'm not surprised to see him fly in for talks that were already scheduled, whatever you want to call it, and hear that. I didn't expect to hear anything different. Not that I agree with it, but I think it's again more votes of confidence for Ruben. Like, he's got all the backing he needs. He's getting all the time he needs. And for people that are like, this is why you wait, don't sack the manager, we have to go through these dark moments and he'll get it right. It's time for him to prove that now. Like, you keep getting a lot of chances here. You've been afforded a lot of flexibility here, a lot of wriggle room, a lot of, patience coming your way, considering how bad things actually are, where a lot of people have lost faith in him. But the people who make the decisions, the most important people in this, the people who have the ability to remove Ruben and get a different manager, still believe in him. And he has to start showing it. So I don't think that should be the case. I think there should be pressure to be gone, and I think they should have made the change. But they still back him. He better start getting some results, and it starts tomorrow.
I wonder, we kind of had this conversation with James last night on Trafford Talk. I wonder what those conversations do look like, because as he's kind of said there, Ratcliffe, in that prior interview back in March, he's not going to really be one to hold back his opinion. is he? And he can't be, when he's watching us and he's seeing these results, he can't be happy with that.
No way.
So I wonder just how open, or direct those conversations are of him being like, this is shit. We're not winning any games. So what's going on? And it particularly if that belief that's being reported is accurate, whereby Sir Jim feels like that squad's good enough to qualify for the Champions League. Well, we're not seeing that in terms of results, this season. Granted, it's only a couple of games this season with this squad, so maybe it's like again a couple more games, and this is an Ineos appointment and what have you. But there must be something. There must be these sort of very frank and direct conversations of like, by the way, Ruben,
has to be.
You really have to kind of start.
There will be
games and turning it around, because obviously it can't go on like this. So I don't know if explicitly it's like, win the next 3 games, because this was something we spoke about last night as well. That whole win the next 3 games and you're out kind of narrative. I don't think that's probably explicitly said. I think that's just logical. If he doesn't pick up wins in the next couple of games, inevitably he's going to be on more pressure, because you can only go on losing for so long or not winning games for so long, right? So yeah, I do wonder how direct those conversations are. And I also wonder, like, obviously publicly facing, outwardly facing, Ruben's obviously got the full backing of Manchester United and the full backing of the executives and the powers that be. But I do wonder if in the back of their minds, or even privately between themselves, a couple of people are sort of going, like, are we going to have like a really busy next few weeks? Or like when do contingency plans start being verbalized? You know what I mean? Well, I wonder when that happens, or what is that sort of breaking point for them?
I think,
is there one? Have they even thought of that at that point, or are they just so focused on it's going to work?
Nah, I think the type of people they are, especially Sir Jim, there's no way that he's assembled, best in class. We want to do right by man, and then you haven't. I mean, that's just sheer negligence. If you haven't even contemplated, well, at what point do we start looking at this when it's this bad? Then what's the point in you being there? I know, like, you have to have positive vibes and manifest and really believe in your project, but at the same time, if you're just going to believe that this is 100% going to work and just keep your eyes shut to the problems, then you're an idiot. Is the only way to put that. So I think that, I mean, we're 5 games into the season in all comps, 4 in the Prem. I don't know. I feel like after like 10 games, barring that you don't lose them all, like if we lost, like, say we did something ridiculous, like lost the next 3 in a row, like that is painting the most catastrophic thing, then that would be it. That would be it. Sure, that surely would be it. But I think, like, if you get a win against Chelsea, and if we get a mixed bag, which is what I think we'll get in the next 3 games, whatever, I don't know which way round it looks, whether that's a draw or loss against Chelsea and then a draw against Brentford, but then you have to beat Sunderland at home, and then you do. Like, I don't know what the mixed bag looks like, but if we get a mixed bag, I think they carry on as is.
I just feel like we're now on this path, this trajectory, where there might be slight deviations from it, but I think the end goal will always end up being that he ends up getting the chop. I can't, that, like you said, there might, like you said, there might be moments where you go, oh, we've sort of we've taken a bit of a scenic route to get here now, but I just. You know what I mean? It just feels like, we spoke about this last night on Trafford Talk too, that I just feel like we've lost too much. You know what I mean? We've lost too many games to, like, like sometimes it's, well, you just got to get through it and then eventually it will come good. I just feel like, again, that sort of from a mental point of view, we've lost too much.
Well, the swing, we've got so bad. Like, we've lost so much that the swing back the other way has to be so drastic.
Yeah, it's like a proper run of wins, like, and I just don't know. And maybe, again, that's just pure belief, and maybe I'll be like, wow, I didn't see that come in, and it was 4 or 5 wins in a row. Bloody hell, like London buses, you can't win back-to-back games for your whole time there. Next thing you know, you win 5 in a row, and football's a funny game. I'd love for that to happen. I just again, I just
Can't see where it happened.
I just cannot.
Can't envision it, can you?
I cannot picture based off all the evidence of the last 9 months. I just can't. I just can't see that. I just can't picture that. Like tomorrow, this is what's so bizarre with Manchester United now, isn't it? Of like, tomorrow, if you said, "Oh, what do you think is going to happen tomorrow?" We're unpredictably predictable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
But you can
going
predict the
into
mixed
it,
bag.
you go, oh, I don't know how we'll do tomorrow. Like, but then when, let's say we do draw or lose the game, we go, oh yeah. 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 But going into it, like today, I can't be sitting and going, oh, we're definitely going to lose tomorrow. Because I don't know. I don't know. We might show up, maybe. I kind of doubt it, but you never know. But then once the game happens, and then we kind of like lose or something, you go, oh yeah, of course
I
we're going
thought
to
that
lose.
was possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course that would happen. So I don't know. I don't know anymore. Man United has truly, I think, ground me down, Flex. They have truly, I think, ground a lot of people down, because when you've been so like miserable, when watching Man United has been a pretty miserable experience for what?
Terrible.
18 months at this point of just basically losing more often than we've been winning for like the best part of 18 months. Like it just grinds you down, doesn't it? It just grinds you down.
And that's
it's
why this
difficult
game
to be
against Chelsea, like
optimistic.
I could envision any three of the results. Like no spoilers, we've got the preview coming straight up after this with myself and Matisse yesterday, but a little bit of a spoiler. I was like, I can see any three of that, shout out Michael Owen, but I could see a win, lose, or draw.
Yeah.
Like I could see them all equally. I could,
Yeah,
maybe
so
not as equally as the win, but I can see us doing all right, frustrate
we're
Chelsea.
predictably unpredictable.
Yeah,
That's what we are.
yeah.
But not in a good way. Like
No,
some teams where
definitely
you
not in a
go
good
like,
way.
say for instance, early Jurgen Klopp Liverpool, predictably unpredictable. Like you never knew what was going to happen in the games, but it was good watch, good football. And sometimes they'd blow leads, but sometimes they scored loads of goals. You go, oh, that's good watch. That's not us. You know what I mean? We're predictably unpredictable in the sense that the games we might bring the team down to our level. We've done that a few times before where we sort of play so badly that the other team starts to play badly and the games just become a bit of a rubbish watch. But then also, we could lose and that won't be a total shock as well. You know what I mean? It's just, we're just, I don't know. Or maybe the most unlikely part of it is, usually when we'd have a bad defeat or a bad performance, you go, I tell you what, the next game they'll show a bit because they have to. The pressure will be on. They've got to show a bit about them. That doesn't really happen anymore.
It doesn't.
You know what I mean?
No,
That doesn't really happen. How often have we had like a shitty first half performance and you go, well, I tell you what, whether it was Ten Hag or Ruben, they'll get into it at half time. Second half, they'll come out and they'll show a bit. And then 10 minutes into the second half, we go, well, that was just the same as the first half. Nothing's changed all that much. I don't know if I'm expecting this, amazing performance because we lost 3-0 against City. So I don't know. I would assume then if Ratcliffe is at the training ground yesterday, then he's probably going to be at the match again.
Against his beloved Chelsea.
I know exactly. What end's he going to be sitting in? I don't know. It's just, I would, like everyone, I would just love just to get a win, even though we know that might not last that long.
Because that's the thing. That's the thing. It's like you don't want to be this negative caricature. But I've said it. Like, if we win, and I know some people have tried to paint this picture in the community. If we win, you'll change your mind. Or it started off with City, didn't it? Well, if we win the next two, you'll be back. Then look at the state of how we even lost. Look at the state of the loss. It weren't even like the Arsenal loss. If that loss was like the Arsenal loss, although I'm still angry at things, there's still a bit there where I go, you know what? Again, they just can't score. They just can't score. But that level of loss was exactly the thing that just before kickoff, literally just before the kickoff happened, I said, but you know what, Owen? We just need a good performance no matter what, though. We just need that. You don't want to lose in a bad way. And lo and behold, that's what we do, and that's what we're saying. When Gary Neville says, "I've seen this movie before."
That's what I mean.
I know how it ends.
It just feels inevitable, and that's why I kind of don't really like the whole. Well, we'll see at the end of this 3 games because like you said, we've seen the movie before. We know how it ends. Like, so why do we have to go through these motions to get to that point? I just don't get it. Like, you get the feeling, inevitably, come that international break, there is going to be a discussion of should United sort of stick or twist now. You know what I mean? Because obviously, if we won the 3 games, we were unbeaten, we won 2 of them and drew 1 or whatever, that wouldn't be a conversation. I just can't see that scenario really being a thing because it's just never really happened. You know what I mean? It's just never happened. So
it doesn't happen.
I don't know. And yeah, I mean, then you get into so many discussions about obviously the team that he picks. I think the general consensus from a lot of people now is with the goalkeeping situation, might as well put Lomans in. There's no reason not to now.
He won't, though. I don't think he will.
Do you think
he will?
Do you not think?
I don't think he will.
I think it's more likely. I think it's more likely.
I don't know when to answer when he even would, but I just don't think it would be now.
I think I would be more shocked if he did put him in.
Yeah, you still would be, innit? You'd still be more shocked.
I still would be like, whoa, I didn't really see that happening. But I think it's more likely than it was last week, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's more likely than it was last week because he's been here longer. We lost and stuff.
Because like last week, it was like, 99% Bayern is going to play. Then obviously, then he told us in the press conference. This time around,
do you think he'll tell us in the press conference again? Because they'll probably ask him again today, actually.
Yeah, someone might ask. And then maybe he'll just say, I don't know.
I think he'll do the whole, he might not confirm Bayern this time, but he'll go, he's coming along well, he's settling well, he's there to fight for the position, he's fit. Like, just do that one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe something like that. But yeah, I would play him because at this point, well, what happens if he comes in and makes a mistake? So that's what our goalkeepers do.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Obviously, we'll take the banter online of everyone doing the meme saying, look, Alana just kept a clean sheet this week and you got this guy. We'll go through all of that. But we stick by a guy and try and, train him up to be Man United's ready.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Hopefully he's ready now, but we just don't know. We just need to see him play. Hopefully he's ready to go now.
Actually, and you bring up a good point when it does come to the press conference today. That is going to be one of those. What the press are on him now. They're on him.
Oh.
They not as if they never have been, but they're in their bag now, aren't they? You know what I mean? Where they
and you can't blame them. You can't be like, oh, typical, media trying to do this or trying to do this and trying to do that. Mate, look at us. And the manager offered he's a gold mine for them. He's a gold mine. You go there and poke the bear in the right spot. You're gonna get, for whatever outlets where we know what the agenda of the mainstream media is, or some of them is to get big lines and big quotes from the Manchester United manager to run with for the next 2 days in the lead up to, in Man United's case, one of the biggest games of the season. Then it's fair game. If I was a reporter for the Mirror or the Mail, or I couldn't wait, I'd be like, right, how am I gonna? That's what they do. That's their job.
You just keep asking questions. Do you feel like quitting today? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll say mad stuff. Yeah.
Every press conference. Exactly. Do you feel like quitting today, or after every defeat or time you didn't win? So do you feel like quitting after this? Like, how do you feel?
Yeah.
Because the worst thing, and the thing is, Ruben will give him an answer. He doesn't. Some things like that, he doesn't really shrug off. He doesn't go absolute nonsense. I'm not going to.
He'd either say, "Look, I told you already. I get over emotional, and I didn't mean it. I've told you that already. Like, you keep asking me the same thing. Like, he would say it." So they know they can get responses out.
Well, and inevitably he'll get asked, obviously today as well. He'll get asked questions about Rashford, because obviously he's scoring goals last night for Barca, and he'll be like, "How come it's working at Barca and not here, Ruben?"
And then he'll be forced to say, "I wish all our players the best. It's good for him. It's good for us, and we wish him well. We want his value to go up." He won't say that, but do you know what I mean? So I don't know, man. And on the Rashford thing, actually, just really quickly, I mean, it's just something that you'd rather not happen.
It adds extra pressure to him,
it does. It does. I don't care what anyone says.
If we were winning games, it really wouldn't matter, because it would be like, right, both people have gone their separate ways, and it is what it is. But when you're not doing well, someone goes away and they're doing well, it does put extra pressure on you. Ironically enough, it was funny, actually, that game, because I watched it last night. And for the first half, he was pretty shit, actually. Like, he wasn't that good at all. And then second half, he just came alive. The header was really good. Obviously, his second one's brilliant. And then after that, he was flying. I mean, my goodness me, he was flying. He was spraying passes. He looked confident. It's a funny one, actually, in that Barca team, because there are some real, like, technically top quality players in that team, and he doesn't really like fit in that.
No.
You know what I mean?
Well, look at the grace of how Pedri plays, how De Jong were manipulating the ball, what Rafinha's touch.
Oh,
like, it's a joke.
outrageous.
But actually, he gives them the thing out when you look at, obviously, Lamine, when you know how good he is technically, he gives them the sort of raw, rugged, allow all that. Just give me the ball. I'm just going to run it, man. Like, do you know what I mean? So it works as a squad player. I don't think he was brought there to be the main starter every single game. I think form could dictate that. But let's be honest, when Rafinha and Lamar are both fit and firing, he probably doesn't start. But there's enough in there where they're going to play a lot of games. There's going to be injuries. Look, lo and behold, and he takes his chances. And the manager likes it. The manager's,
well,
I mean.
But I did think when he scored that brilliant goal, it reminded me, I remember him scoring a bit of a similar goal against Man City at the Etihad.
He's done it, yeah. All my phone was going off. All my friends, Liverpool, proves you were the problem. This, that. I goes, listen, Rashford always needed a new set of like circumstances, scenery. You can always argue that Man United is a problem, 100%, because we ruin players. But it will get rewritten now, this Rashford thing, with every goal he scores. You're the problem. You're the problem. Let's have it right. Rashford down tools, didn't want to play here anymore. Went out clubbing in flipping Dublin and didn't want to come back and lie about. Like, let's not fighting fans in the car park, essentially. Head down. The last time he played against Newcastle, we saw what happened. Didn't move.
Like I said, I remember.
I mean, it's a two-way thing here. It's a two-way thing.
Like I said, I remember Rashford scoring a goal like that at the Etihad against City, and then sort of jogging around for the next 80 odd minutes.
We've seen him score goals. I saw him score 30 in one season, mate.
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't. But this is when it goes back to sometimes. I think sometimes for cope, we then, when players move, we try and convince ourselves they've got no quality. They won't do absolutely anything, which isn't true. Like, Rashford will do fine at Barca.
Digital Asset saying he's a scrub. Like that, if he's a scrub, that means he won't go. He wouldn't have done what he done last night.
That's not true. Or Garnacho won't do anything at Chelsea. Yeah, he will. You know what I mean? Because they're not bad players, but it wasn't working out for them at Manchester United. And again, I think that's like the next stage of. I think sometimes, like I said, as fans, we just like to just pretend that it's all they were never that good in the first place, that kind of thing, right? So
he's always been rubbish.
Which isn't true. The problem is, as well, is like I said, if we were winning matches at the moment, it wouldn't matter as much. It wouldn't, because you would go, look,
no one would care.
Player's gone out there. It was right decision to move him on. He's doing good. We're doing good. Good for both parties. The problem
Look how good Cunha is. Look how good Mbeumo is. They've scored this much already.
Yeah, exactly. The problem is that obviously we're not doing well, and it just, as much as it shouldn't, it does put extra pressure on, because naturally people are talking about it.
Those decisions. The same if Garnacho does well tomorrow.
Yeah, but the only other thing is, I did think, and that we have noticed this the last couple of seasons, where I tell you what, Flex, we're fucking massive, ain't we? Yeah, we haven't been in the Champions League for 2 seasons, and then Champions League football was getting played last night, and big teams are playing in it. And they're talking about Manchester United because it's Rashford, because there's Højlund.
The story's there. They need to know how these guys feel.
Because there's McTominay. And I'm like, we're not even in the competition. We haven't been in it for 2 years. We're not even in Europe at the moment. And people are still talking about us just because they used to play for Manchester United. And that goes to show, just again, how big we are. That we can dominate conversation of a competition we haven't been in for 2 years.
Before, we used to use that as the arrogance of like, we're just so big. Now it's like, I wish we wasn't the topic of every talk, because now it's like the conversation's a fair game. We're shit. And it's like the conversations are in a negative light of, they're saying to Rashi, what's the difference? Joe Cole's, he's doing it in a way.
I'd much rather be in the competition and be 100%. Doing well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, than hearing about, like you said, it is because we're big and the storyline's there. But like Sharam says, United sell, simple as that. But you have to ask these players, like, because Man United being so bad, like worse in their history, but you're smiling, you're happy. This manager loves you. You're playing in the champ. Rasmus, everyone's left us and they get upgraded, bro. Anthony's playing in Europe. I mean, he's in Europa League.
Yeah.
Rashford's come back instantly just where the draw's gone. Big night. And this is exactly what I said when he went there. I said, them big nights in Champions League, Barcelona on the front foot, playing with them type of players. Rashford's going to be fine. He's going to be fine. Elanga playing in Champions League. And he had some good crosses in the bot. He's actually played well as well. He's been playing well. Looked dangerous. Rasmus probably could be, but I just left the team. He didn't want me and he's got no Europe. Now I'm starting for Napoli away at the Etihad in the Champions League with Kevin De Bruyne. Do you know how mad football is? Like when you break it down. Garnacho's gone. I was frozen out. Didn't even get a start in the Europa League final, and now I'm coming off the bench playing for Chelsea away in the Champions League against Bayern.
Yeah, and not even that with the Højlund one of it's Champions League or whatever. I'm going to the Italian champions. You know what I mean? The Italian champions want me. So
and I didn't see that game. Look, someone said there that Højlund had a stinker. I know they got a man sent off, and I read that and then De Bruyne hardly got a touch.
Substituted for it. Yeah.
Oh, did he get substituted for that red card?
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh yeah. So I don't even know what it was like before that red card. I don't know anything about that game, but the fact is that he's there. And again, last time I checked, it ain't just one game in this league phase. There's quite a lot. There's 8 games in it. So he's going to be playing week in, week out in the Champions League, mate, until Lukaku gets back or whatever. He's getting game time. So he's got the chance to improve. Rashford said it. He goes, I'm becoming a better player. He said it. He said, I'm becoming a better player. Manager's got a lot of confidence in me. I knew he was a great manager anyway, but working for him is an absolute pleasure. And, some of the players that they asked him, obviously, again, it's weird with Rashford being the secondary. It's like, Rashi, what's it like playing with these guys? What's it like playing with Lamine Yamal? He wasn't even there. Talk about how big he is. He's injured. They're going, mate, what's it like? What's it like playing with him?
And also, as well, this is where it was good for him to leave United, because some of the stuff that he was doing at Man United off the pitch, he will not be able to pull that shit at Barcelona.
No chance.
You know what I mean? If he did the whole went out in Belfast, called in sick for training when everyone knew that he wasn't sick, he was out on the piss the night before, he'd be done. You know what I mean? Or just the way maybe he carried himself in and around the training ground. Can't do that. You're the new kid here. You're not the kid that came through the academy and knows everyone and knows everything inside out. You're a new player, which is maybe what's needed.
It will humble him going there, though, because he's around top world-class guys and the levels are so high. He'd be fine.
That's what I mean. I think this is when I go back to the cultural issue at United, particularly I think with players coming through the academy, there is sometimes a feeling with them like they own the place or they're untouchable because they've been here for ages. You know what I mean? I've been here forever. I've come through the academy. I know this place. And I'm the guy who made good by coming through the academy, and I made it into the first team. So you can't touch me kind of thing. And I do think that is a good thing for those players to be, like you said, humbled and be like, no.
It brings him down to earth, and it shows what he needed to do to reignite his career in front of Thomas Tuchel as well, by the way. And this is what I maintain, right? I still maintain it. Shout out Andy Gordon, he still did score.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. The best version of Rashford, no matter how often you see it or don't, whenever it is available, the best version of Rashford is better than Andy Gordon. 100% for me, personally. It's just that obviously in the last 18 months, Anthony Gordon's been quite consistent in his level of performance, even though he's had some dips here and there. But the best version of him, Thomas Tuchel will always see as a better player, in my opinion. The level he's played at, what he's done in his career, where he's been, he is better than Anthony Gordon. Whether or not he can remain consistent enough to prove that is a different argument. Whether he can remain consistent enough to prove that he's better an option than Eze on the left, a better option than Jack Grealish, who might be coming back into the team if he keeps consistent. A better option than, Madueke out there on the left once Saka gets back, or Cole Palmer. All of these options. Rashford, if he's playing well for Barca week in, week out, Thomas Tuchel, I think, will pick him for England. And I think he'll start.
That's the problem, isn't it? But that's why people do pick people like Anthony Gordon over Rashford, is because if they're off, they'll give you work rate, which Rashford won't. You know what I mean?
If he's off, he won't. If he's off, but this version of Rashford, where he's going to be confident, you don't know. Things can go wrong really quickly. Like, once Yamal gets back and maybe Rashford goes back to the bench, he's only coming on for 15 minutes here and there for loads of games because they're in the title race and it just works for them. It can change. I get that. But I just feel like there's going to be enough positivity around him that he's just, whether he's coming off the bench, whether he's starting, he's just going to be doing enough. And I think that's going to transpire into England, where Thomas Tuchel picks him just to be in the squad anyway, because I think he'll be playing enough to get in the squad. I just think he's going to do well. Siraf, just quickly though, Pedri, I honestly, seeing, like when you just see top level players, like he's got, you see how physical Newcastle's midfield is. You're going to and you're going
3 versus midfield 2. You know what I mean? Midfield 2 as well.
And when they're that good, though, when they're
that's what I mean.
That's what I'm saying. That tells us what we kind of need. If you want to be dominant with just 2 in there in our system, you need Pedri, you need Gavi, you need Dion.
Yeah,
you need, you know what I mean?
But then that's what people are sort of saying, isn't it? It's like, again, if you look at Bruno and Ugarte or Casemiro, well, you can't do what those 2 do there, because 1, they cover a lot of distance, but also they can pass the ball. They can progress the ball forward. They're comfortable. They're press resistant. Players can try and get the ball off them. They can't. Whereas you look at our midfield, we go, Ugarte can make tackles. He can't pass for shit. Bruno Fernandes, he's not a midfielder in that sense. You know what I mean? Of you can get the ball off Bruno, or he is going to try mad shit, or he's not going to progress the ball because he's a number 10. He's a 10, not an 8. And then, you're going up against a midfield 3 there, like you say, that's one of the most physical, and actually one of the best midfields in the Premier League, isn't it? In Bruno Guimaraes, Tonali, Joelinton, you've got a bit of everything in there. A midfield 2 there of Barcelona, they were far superior, So it just goes to show that, again, you look at the people we've got in midfield, they're just not fit for purpose. They're not fit for purpose at all, particularly with what Ruben wants them to do. And that's why you would maybe then say to Ruben, look, you're going to have to tweak something, change, because what you want your midfielders to do, the midfielders you've got, they can't do it. And it's going to be in a couple of months until you get even one of them. So you've got to figure out a change. You've got to tweak something, because if you keep just going like, oh, well, this is what I want my midfielders to do, the guys I've got can't do it, we're just going to keep losing, eventually you're going to be out of a job, aren't you? It's just how it's going to go. You're going to have to adapt at some point.
You're going to have to. I was just looking at a little comp there quickly of last night at Pedri. Some of the things he's doing with the ball. And like you say, you're talking about Guimaraes, he can get after you. Tonali can he's just dropping a shoulder and accelerating away, stop the ball, put foot. A great midfielder is one that knows when to take 1, 2, 3, or 4, 5 touches or none. You know what I mean? Like, it's just brilliant. And like someone said there, give Frankie de Jong his flowers as well. I know Erik ten Hag did want him, but he was just unreal as well, just popping it around. Even when when the game got really, obviously Newcastle United pulled one back. They pull one back, crowds up. You go, fucking up. They just go, give me the ball. Give me the ball. He's not getting the ball. There's not gonna be any nervy moments here. Give me the ball. Just brilliant. And that's what he says, a confident Mainu does that. Now, obviously, the level of those 2, they're world class, but like he can give you shades of that. Like if you're dominant and you let him have the ball under pressure and take the ball, he's good over short distances. With and without the ball, he's good over short distances, less so over big distances. You're right. That's the, I don't want to say poor man's version, but that's a version that you can try and develop that plays in a similar way.
As we said, the technical ceiling of our team is on the floor. On the floor.
Awful. And it has been for ages.
We don't have midfielders that are capable of passing the ball or progressing the ball. Like you said, you can say Cobby, but there's deficiencies there, certainly. But if you then had someone next to him who could do like an Ugarte role, but then could also progress the ball, could actually pass the ball, then you could balance it out. The problem is we just look at the people we've got in there. Ugarte, like I said, it's just tackling, but no.
Then you bring Casemiro in, and now it's like Casemiro's the upgrade now. We're like, he's got play.
Exactly. You go, well, he can pass
Casemiro
it
special round the corner.
Exactly, but even his passing probably in comparison to actually, like you said, you look at the people playing last night, you go, wow, we're just kind of gassing up because he can actually pass it a little bit. He's passing
his passing compared to like Adam Wharton and that is nowhere near. Like, do you know what I mean?
It's nowhere near. And obviously then we talk about, the physical decline. And then Bruno, like I said, it's just not a midfielder. It's just not in that sense. I think Ruben just has him in there because he can cover a lot of ground. But look at this, ironic, because you're putting this player in there for one of his qualities and ignoring all of the much better or more important qualities about him, which are the higher up the pitch he is, as has been proven over and over and over again, will score goals or he'll create chances because of it. So yeah, it is when you watch those like Champions League games, isn't it? You sort of go, I don't see this every week. When I'm watching my team, I don't see this that often. And it is very eye-opening to say the least.
Yeah, no, it is. Right, a few super chats. Makish, is that an L after that K? Or is it an I? I think it's an L.
McCulch or
yeah, I think it might be because
it
I've
might
been
be
calling
like
Makish for ages, but is it a straight A? A straight I, sorry? Or just a... Is that a capital L?
Because it'd be weird if it was capitalized just in the middle of the word, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Oh,
I think maybe
it's got to be an I.
I think it's got to be an L, hasn't it?
Oh yeah, no, because a regular I would have to go.
He says Makish. He says Makish.
Right. Okay. Makish it is. Big up Makish for the contribution. Appreciate it, bro. Terence says, what I am more worried about if Ruben is sacked is who can steady the ship and make a proper build. How many more managers do we have to see come and go? And that is where the $1 million question does exist, because to me, the answer is as many as it takes to find somebody good. To me. And that doesn't mean sacking after unreasonable amounts of time. I don't think 50 games is unreasonable. I don't. To show any improvement where you go, listen, you've earned a bit more time to keep going here.
That's the key part of it. That's the key part of it. I think 50 games.
Miracles.
If we were, were winning games and there were some good performances, but we still were losing games, I think that's when you would go 50 games. I think that's when you go, it's a little bit too soon, maybe. But when you're not winning at all,
if the win percentage wasn't 25 and it was like 45 or 50, then I've seen half of it. There's something there. We've got to build, man. You can't just sack him yet. We've won. We remember we went on that good run, and then it stopped.
Yeah, something. I get that, but there's nothing.
This is the reverse. You're just going backwards. So. Yeah, I get that. And Terence, you made a good point. I think this is the thing that scares, because you basically saying it there, this is what you're worried about the most. This is what scares us the most into even, not saying you are, but it scares us into even going, so that's why we can't sack him. So that's why we have to carry on.
It's similar, isn't it, it's the Graham Potter situation when he was at Chelsea. He was there, Clearlake's first big hire, wasn't it? Yeah. After they sacked Thomas Tuchel, and it was right. This is their guy. We've figured him out. We spent a lot of money getting him, and then it's not working. It's not working. It's not working. It's not working. And there's a desire for fucking hell, it's got to work. We've stuck a lot of reputation on this working. It's not working. It's not working. And eventually you have to go, I just got to bite the bullet. This isn't working, is it? You know what I mean? It's unfortunate.
Then Poch, same thing. Poch, same thing.
Yeah,
Poch, they were like, I don't know, started off all right. Wait, what happened again in the Poch reign? Towards the end of it, they actually did all right, and they still sacked him.
Shit for ages. They were like bottom half, terrible, and then the last 5 or 6 games of the season, they won them all in a row, didn't they? But then at the end of it, they came together and they mutually both said, it's not really for us, we think. Yeah.
So got rid of him as well. Again, and I know people say, but we're not Chelsea. That's not the club that we are. And I think, again, we're not a sacking club. We're not this. We have to come away from that. Like, we need to now be a club that just keeps searching for the right solution, no matter how long it takes, no matter how many managers you have to go through. The identity of we don't do that anymore, or not anymore. We had one manager for 26 years or however long Sir Alex was hit, like a long, long time. That's not football anymore. It's not.
And also,
as much as I'd love to find the next Sir Alex, but we've got to be realistic.
This whole thing of, I think there's a confusion of a desire between wanting it to work and it actually working. I mean, everyone wants it to work, but if it's not working, then you have to go, well, it's unfortunate. It's not working. It's like going into a relationship, isn't it? You're going in with the best intentions, but if it's not working, you go, this kind of isn't really working. I really hoped it would, because why else would you enter into it in the first place, right? Why else would you hire Ruben Amorim in the first place? You'd hope that it was going to work, but it's not. So you have to kind of go, all right, it's not working. And then the next question becomes, isn't it, which I guess we're in now, is it salvageable? It's not working, but is it salvageable?
Yeah. And it doesn't feel like it is. It doesn't feel like it is. But...
It could be salvageable if you like, okay, but because there's going to be tweaks, changes, amendments. But when you've got someone that's openly saying, no, it's not, again, the relationship, I don't want to go to relationship, or I don't want to go counselling or whatever. You go, no, this isn't really going to work, is it? Then you got, I don't want to talk it to anyone, and I don't want to change. You go, I think these issues are going to persist. To be honest with you,
you got to address this. You got to address
exactly.
Yeah. Super chat from DJ. Big up to you, bro, for the big super chat. He says, I'm concerned that a manager deciding who's surplus to requirements has a 36% win ratio and only won 17 games in 47. He's clearly out of his depth. I believe his days are numbered. It's not a matter of if, but when. So, yeah, 25% is in the league and 36% overall. Like, it's shocking. 70, there you go. So, basically, I always round it up to basically say it's basically 50 games now. It was 3 games off 50. With 50 games in, he's won 17.
Well, it'll be 50 come the international break, won't it? And like you said, if that's
the international break. So if he's still on 17 out of 50, I mean,
even if it's 18,
draws.
Let's say,
or even if it's 18, you get 2 draws and
18 out of 50.
Even if we won 20 out of 50, even if he wins 3 on the bounce, yeah. But if we win 3 on a bounce, like you said, that would be record breaking, and we would be like, we could be on here.
Historic, yeah.
You know, Frank would be 2 games away from cutting his hair. We would have won back-to-back games and won. Like, it would be something for the books. You know what I mean? We'd still be nervous, but it'd be something that we hadn't seen the whole year. So then you start to go, well, let me see this 4th game. Let me see this game out. Oh, that's Liverpool, isn't it? Out the international break. Go to Anfield and win. Oh my! I tell you what, Owen. I'll tell you one thing.
Yeah.
There's only one way where I could do the shameless flip flop, and it could be that. Like if we had a good run
and won
after a back of good results.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. No. Not just that by itself. But I'm telling you that, say we inflicted Liverpool's first defeat with how much I hate them and want them to lose, and I hate watching every time. If it was us to actually do it, I'd probably lose my mind and then come back to reality like the next Monday. But no, if we won the next 3 games, if we won the next 4 in a row, and then we were 1 game away from getting Frank to, I'll change.
Flex.
I'll change. No, but I'm just saying, you know, when people say, what would it take for you to start believing again? That's how high it is. Everyone's saying there's no point, there's no way that's going to happen. So I'm just saying, that's how, you know, if we won the next 5 in a row, if Frank cut his hair, I'd change my mind.
Well, look, I was just checking. Like when we played Burnley 3-2, that was in August. So we haven't won a game yet in September. So we're due 1. We're due 1 at least.
Maximum 2.
By the way it works, we're due about 1 win this month. So maybe that's going to come tomorrow.
And for everyone in the chat that keeps saying not going to happen, we haven't even won 2 in a row since United. But I am aware of this. I know this won't happen. That's why I'm saying, if it did, that would make us all be like, because we all know we're not going to win 5 in a row. Obviously.
Do you remember? You know, was it Monday? A couple Mondays ago, whenever it was, and you were like, guys, like, do we have the minerals for if we lost against City and Chelsea back to back? And I was like, no.
That was KG who said that, I think.
Whoever said it about the minerals if we lost that game? No. Do we have the minerals if we win that game? No. This is my point at the time. No. And as has been proven by just the City game alone, we don't have the minerals to lose those games back to back and like keep calm or what have you. Not a chance. Not a chance. Either way. There's going to be a meltdown.
Ketchadil says Eric's 8th place finish was fair given injuries, but he won the FA Cup and started his 3rd season well. Well, he didn't start 3rd season well, did he?
No, because he got sacked.
We were 13th. It was terrible.
we
needed time to
3
build.
Points of our first 9, didn't we?
Yeah. It was a terrible start. He needed. What we said was, you won the FA Cup and finished 8th. So the beginning of next year, you've really got to show some stuff, and we were terrible. He needed time to build. Now we're stuck with a stubborn manager who will soon be sacked. That second bit is right. Ketchadil says, what will happen is Amorim experiences 67 injuries like Eric Ten Hag. What will happen if maybe we truly don't have a manager? Lil Yo-Yo says, would you care about style of play if we're winning? Style of play scholars can't justify this. 100%. 100%. No one will be talking about system and back 5 and it's a negative if we looked good in it in 1 game.
Not initially. I mean, like I said, with Ten Hag that season, there obviously was a lot of pushback about whether it's style of play and was it sustainable. But we're so low at the moment that if we got 3 or 4 wins in a row, we wouldn't give a shit. We've not been winning games, and then suddenly we start winning. We go, I don't really.
It'd be a turnaround.
Yeah, I don't really like this.
Yeah. No, that wouldn't happen. That would not happen. And if you're talking about, like I said, the truly unbelievable, unthinkable thing, which is including a run going to Anfield and winning and being on this run of like 4 or 5 games, really excited, or not even excited, just winning consistently, everything would change. But guess what? It's not going to happen. Jabak says the average tenure of a Premier League gaffer is just over 2 years. If you take Pep out of the mix, it's 1.5 years. What is this fascination United has with giving managers time? That's what I'm saying. I agree. Like you get again. Ruben said himself, by the way, which we're not quite there yet, but his contract when it was like it's a 2-year contract, and it's something like that.
2.5, and he said by the end of that you should know.
You should know. And guess what? Way earlier than that, mate. After 1 year, we're like you should also be able to see something.
I think obviously because of our history, there is this sort of post Sir Alex syndrome, isn't it? Where everyone just wants to find the next Sir Alex is going to be at the club for 20 odd years and what have you. But as we mentioned, it's not 1986 anymore. No. You know what I mean? Football's changed, football's evolved. Yes, managers when they came in back then, they used to get like 5 years to prove themselves, but there's way more money involved now, and the game's evolved. The game's different. It just is what it is. You can like it or you don't like it, but it's just how it goes, isn't it? You know what I mean?
It's just how it goes.
And eventually Sir Alex had to start winning,
Exactly.
And he did.
You have to. Yeah, you have to show results. If Sir Alex kept losing, he would have got sacked at that point too.
Yeah, that's why they do the whole Mark Robbins goal and, in the FA Cup and all that kind of stuff.
There had to be a sliding doors moment. There has to be something that goes, right, now we've turned the key in the ignition. Now we're onto it. So we await to see if that begins at Chelsea. Guys, right, smash a like on the video, man. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new. I think I've read out all the super chats. Yes, I have. The Trinity will be later on today. I'm not going to be on it. Like I said, I'm going to be out of the country, guys. Internet permitting, I've packed well, so hopefully I can be on the match view with KG and Owen, going through the game, etc. But yes, road trip will be out tomorrow as well, from myself, and anything else in between. So stay locked in, guys. Preview coming straight after this with myself and Matisse as well. So loads of content coming your way. Press conference later, which I'm sure the guys on the Trinity will unpick what's going on. Fingers crossed for Cunha. Mount and Dalot, all 3 of them. Like, just get players back, especially Cunha, though, especially him. Fingers crossed for the return of those guys, and we'll see you then. Take care, guys. Good stream, good show. Thanks for the love. Have a great day. I'm out of here. We're out of here. Peace.